If you've been following the channel for a while now, you know I absolutely love the Sony 1000XM2 headphones. And in general, I like Sony's headphone lineup so much that I actually dedicated a whole video to it, which you can and should watch right here. And I'm also a fan of Sony's new XP41 and XP31 speakers. But I feel Sony could have and should have done better with their new SP600N and SP700N sports wireless earbuds. Now, they aren't all bad, but these headphones have a few quirks which just make you think Sony rushed them out the door. The reason I'm reviewing both of these headphones together is because they're basically the same product, except the one's completely wireless while the other still has a wire connecting both of the earbuds, but gives you the added benefit of the inline controller. The Sony WI-SP600N retails for $150, while the completely wireless WF-SP700N retails for $180. If you want to pick either of these headphones up, I'll have links in the description below, and if you use the links, it really helps out the channel. I suggest you check them out because Sony headphones routinely go on sale, but I'm also going to link some better alternatives as well, namely the Jaybird X3 and Powerbeats 3. I feel you can't go wrong with either of those. Also, check out the new merch shelf down below. Regarding what's in the box, both of these headphones come with pretty much the same things. They both come included with a micro USB cable for charging, they both come with an extra pair of larger ear fins, and they both come with 3 additional pairs of ear tips of varying sizes. But what struck me as weird is that the wired SP600N didn't come included with a carrying pouch, and there are no cable management clips either. The reason I'm mentioning the lack of cable management clips on the SP600N is because the wire itself is pretty long and heavy. With most other wired earbuds like this, you can either taut the cable or clip it onto your shirt for better cable management so it's not constantly bouncing around. But the cable on these wired earbuds is pretty durable and it has a built-in inline controller. The buttons themselves have good tactile feedback and they're very easy to tell apart. And the controller also houses a micro USB port for charging. And yes, this micro USB port should have been a USB-C port instead. Okay, now let's talk about what you're actually here to see, the completely wireless SP700N. And first, let's address the carrying case. It's nice, lightweight, and feels nice in the hand, but it feels pretty cheap. The lid feels a little flimsy, and I wouldn't be surprised if people accidentally snapped it off. And on the back of the case, there's a micro USB port for charging, and again, Sony, this needs to be a USB-C port, come on. But here's a problem with the case. The LED indicator light only shines red when you plug it in, and after a while, the red LED turns off. But it doesn't shine white to let you know the case is fully charged, and there also isn't a gauge telling you approximately how much of a charge the case itself has. And Sony's app, which I'll get into in a minute, only tells you how much battery the earbuds have, not the case. And when you put the earbuds in, they'll verbally let you know the current state of their battery level, but there's no way of telling if the case is charged or dead. Now, when it comes to actually placing the earbuds into the case, the earbuds aren't magnetically aligned. You have to wedge them in, which does feel a little unnatural. Regarding the earbuds themselves, they each have a single button, and it's not these big circle things, it's these little clear wedges that stick out. The left one controls your ANC settings, and the right one controls your music playback. So you can play or pause your music, or skip a track, but you can't adjust the volume. So that's one of the benefits of having an inline controller, like on the SP600N or the Powerbeats 3. You have full control of your music playback while you work out, while with fully wireless earbuds, you only have partial control without having to nag your voice assistant. Regarding fit, these earphones go in really deep into your ear canal, and they also form a very good seal, which provide a lot of passive noise isolation. Both of these earphones will also feature active noise cancellation and ambient sound settings. But even though I feel Sony currently has the best active noise cancellation on the market, I don't really feel it's really worth using on either of these earbuds. The ANC does block out some sound, but a lot of sound still manages to get in. But the ambient sound feature is much more useful if you're someone who likes running or biking on the streets. Like I just said, these earphones provide a lot of passive noise isolation. But with ambient mode turned on, the earbuds will pump in all of the surrounding sounds, and it's like they're not even there, so you can still be aware of your surroundings, which is great for safety. Regarding tech specs, both of these earphones are rocking an IPX4 certification, and they're both using Bluetooth 4.1. The wired SP600N has very little latency, so if you're going to be watching any YouTube videos with them, they're okay. The SP700N, on the other hand, have a lot of latency. The connection doesn't really stutter for me, but these are strictly for listening to music. Now just keep in mind, the left earbud is the master and the right earbud is the slave. So if you're going to be taking phone calls with these headphones, you're only going to hear sound come out of the left earbud. When it comes to battery life, it's not fantastic. The wired SP600N can hold a 6-hour charge, while the truly wireless SP700N can hold a 9-hour charge. The earbuds themselves can hold a 3-hour charge, and the case can charge the earbuds back up twice. But neither of these two headphones have quick charging, which I feel is a must these days. And now let's talk about sound quality. If you think the Powerbeats 3 have a lot of bass, then these have way more. And depending on who you ask, that's either a good thing or a bad thing. The bass is very deep and the bass is very punchy. But unfortunately, I feel Sony only focus on the bass because the mids are very shallow and the highs are very tinny. The highs on these earphones are constantly piercing ears, so these earphones aren't pleasant to listen to. So basically, the music on these earphones is just constantly being drowned out by the bass. But if you jump into Sony's Headphones app, you can select from a few pre-made equalizer settings. But no matter which one I used, I found they all have way too much bass and the highs still remain tinny. Personally, I found mellow sounds the best, but unfortunately you can't go in and adjust the EQ settings to your liking. You're stuck with the pre-made settings. Also, Sony advertises Google Assistant integration on these earbuds, but that feature isn't available yet. So in the meantime, you can summon your voice assistant by pressing and holding the button on the right earbud on the 700N, or pressing and holding the play button on the SP600N. And here's the microphone test. Now, it's not complete garbage, but long story short, I still wouldn't take phone calls with these earbuds. And keep in mind, the left earbud is the master, so you're only going to hear stuff coming out of this earbud, and the microphone is located here as well. But this audio clip is being recorded by the microphone on the Sony SP700N, so you can be the judge of that. So, on paper, I feel the truly wireless SP700N sound pretty cool, but execution-wise, I think they fell short. First off, I feel these are bad-sounding earphones with way too much bass. Their carrying case looks nice, but needs some major improvements, like a more durable lid, fast charging, and a battery gauge or a multicolored LED that let you know its current battery status. The SP700N are very light, stay in place very well, and the ambient sound feature is very useful, but I wouldn't pay $180 for them. The wired SP600N are a little better, but it's kind of hard to recommend them over the Jaybird X3 or the Powerbeats 3, given that you can get either one of them for less than the Sonys if you know where to look. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit that like button and get subscribed. It helps out more than you realize. Support the channel by clicking on the links down below, and I'll catch you next time.